This is video number 2, and this video is going to be sheeting the top, bottom, and the sides. Using Jumbo Trace 2018, I'm setting up the 2 reference points on the paper diagram. The reference points are required in case you have to move the diagram. I have selected tracing polylines. The Jumbo 4 drawing boards are required because the diagram is large. This diagram only represents 1/4 of the full boat size, so we'll need 4 of these files to sheet the boat bottom. You can see here it's a fairly simple trace. It's just a couple of spots along that arc and then straight lines. Now I'm going to load that created file into Vectric Aspire 10.5. Here I'm going to duplicate the file 4 times. I'm only showing 3 here, because I can only get 3 on one sheet, and that's what the simulation looks like. These represent the 1/4-inch plywood cutouts. Here I've fastened down a 4x8 by 1/4-inch sheet of plywood on the CNC deck, and I've started to cut. I'm only going to get 3 of these cuts out of one sheet. I'll have to use an extra sheet for that small bit. To get an accurate trace of the boat top, I place the boat frame on top of the drawing tables. I'm going to be using Jumbo Trace 2018 to trace out that boat frame to get a file so I can cut it with the CNC. By touching the pen along the frame of the kayak, I'll end up with about a 1/4-inch extra overhang. I like this extra bit because then I can just grind it off for a perfect fit. Once I'm finished tracing out this boat top, then I'm going to save it as one file, and I'm going to put that file into Vectric Aspire 10.5, and I'm going to make it in 2 pieces because I want these pieces to come out of one sheet. I'm doing all this because the boat's 12 feet, and we're trying to get the top parts out of a 4x8 sheet, and by rotating them in a bit of an angle, I can get 2 cuts. Shown here is the 2 pieces for the kayak top, rotated in such a way I can get it out of one sheet. I also like to run the simulator just to see how it's going to look. I've loaded the toolpath into the CNC machine. I'm going to cut out those 2 tops. I'm running the CNC machine about 21,000 RPM. I'm using a 1/4-inch carbide end mill, and I'm running about 60 inches per minute. And again, I didn't program any tabs into the toolpath. I'm just using a finishing nail. I pause the machine, put in a couple of nails, and carry on. I just don't want that piece to move while it's being cut. It's nice to end up with fitted pieces. I did not program any cuts for the kayak sides because they're straightforward. Shown here is one of the bottom panels being applied, and then the bottom completed. This is a good shot of the interior and shows the cockpit. This is the finished look of the bottom and the sides. Now I'm ready to start applying the top and cut out the cockpit area. Once the glue was set, I ground off all the edges, and then I sanded the sides, and I sanded the top and the bottom. The Skimmer Plywood kayak turned out well.